Kelly Eden here. I've been getting a lot of makeup requests for this winged liner that I've been wearing for the past 2 weeks, and I listen to you guys, I read every single comment, so I figured I would actually do it and show you guys how. I want to say it's easy, but it's kind of complicated, so I'll try to explain it the best way that I can. The key is you're going to use a gel liner. I prefer the one that's from MAC. It's called Black Track. It's really creamy and you can kind of blend it really well. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. Okay, let's get started. So I've just started with my foundation and my brows, and I have some primer and some lip conditioner on. So just start with your base. So let's start with the eyes. I'm going to use a eyeshadow primer that I have. This one comes in a stick form. You guys can use whatever you're comfortable with. Go ahead and put this on from your lash line all the way up to your brows. Okay, so I'm going to be using the 35O palette, which I painted pink, sorry, aesthetic. And I'm going to start with this really light color up in the corner. This is a matted color that I'm going to be using with a flat brush, so you can use any sort of paddle brush, get a really good helping onto your brush, and you're just going to put this all over your lid, all the way up to your brow. This is basically going to be our base color. It's important that this is a matted color so it blends really, really well with all the other colors that we're going to put on. Put a little bit of that color on your lower lid as well. And the next thing I'm going to use is this really light matted brown color. It's kind of a cool tone. I'm going to use a 217 brush from MAC, which is just a fluffy brush. Use a little product on the tip of the brush and just shimmy it on the outer corner of your eyelid going up into the crease. I'm being really light-handed using tiny little circles just to blend it. So just focus on blending using tiny little circles just to blend everything out so it's really nice, soft, and smoky. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use this lilac color, which was kind of random. I just wanted to pop a little color in there because I had lilacs in my hair. So I'm using the 217 brush and I'm just kind of patting it down with one side of the brush. You can do this if you want to, or you can keep it with naturals. It doesn't matter. You can, pop on any color you want with this look. It's totally up to you. So I'm just going to continue patting it on the outer corner of my eye, trying to blend it in with that soft brown color I put on earlier. Okay, so now it's time for the eyeliner. I'm using a gel liner from MAC. This one is called Black Track. It's really awesome. And then I'm going to use a 210 brush, which is a liner brush from MAC. So I'm going to load up my brush. I'm going to try to make it as sharp as possible with the product. And the first thing you're going to do is you're just going to go along your lash line and line your eyes. This part is pretty simple. You want to make sure you get it really even on both sides. So really take your time, give yourself breaks to blink, and you won't mess up. I'm taking from the inner corner all the way to the outer corner. You want to make sure you take breaks just to look at yourself in the mirror and make sure that everything is even, everything is matching up on both eyes. Also, take your time with loading up product onto the brush. The key is to get it really, really sharp, so you don't need a lot of product on there. I usually just kind of swish it back and forth and make it into a point with the product on the brush, that is. And so again, you want to make sure you check in the mirror, make sure that both sides are even, and if they look good, you're going to go ahead and start marking out your wings. So this is a really cool technique to make sure your wings are even. You basically use the brush to mark out a line between the edge of your brow and the edge of your eye. You want to make a little mark with the Black Track, and then check yourself in the mirror to make sure they're even, that they look good, and then move forward from there. So then I'm taking the tip of the brush all the way down to the outer corner of my eye. I'm basically just going to keep darkening this line, and it's going to grow from there. So this is basically the foundation of the wing. This is how everything's going to grow from there. And you want to take the rest of the product and start building from the outer corner of the eye out. So then I'm going to use whatever's left on the brush, and I'm kind of sketching it up toward my crease and then toward the center of my eye. The eyeliner is going to act almost as like an eyeshadow, so it's like eyeliner that's turning into eyeshadow. So just take your time with it and just kind of build it from there. You also want to make sure you look in the mirror and relax your eye completely. That way you know how it's going to look with the folds of your eye once you're relaxed. So again, once you have that initial line created, you're going to start building from there, and I basically just take a little bit of product at a time and I start pulling it in toward the outer corner of my eye, kind of reaching up toward the crease. And basically you're going to take it from the very tip of the wing and it's going to fade out, kind of reaching toward your crease. So I'm kind of like framing the outer corner of my eye, making it look a little longer than it actually is. And then just bringing it so it fades onto the corner of your eye. Everybody's eye shape is different, so you definitely want to make sure you take your time with it, check yourself in the mirror, and kind of relax your eye just to see what shape the liner is making once you're relaxed. Also take the liner down to the lower lid around the waterline. And then here we're going to take Carbon. You can use any black eyeshadow you want, any sort of like tiny padding brush. And we're basically going to kind of fix this, like fix our lines. And you're just going to take a little bit of shadow at a time and you're going to pat it on the outer corners of that liner. So everything kind of fades together. So just keep patting on the outer corner. Make sure you're not using too much product because you don't want it to kind of fall down onto your cheeks, because that's a nightmare. So once you're finished, just take a moment to look at yourself in the mirror, and if it looks good, move on. So now we're going to go back to that lighter brown color, that matted color that we used before. I'm going to take that same tiny little padding brush, and basically this is going to be our middle color. So I'm using this color to blend in that lighter color and the black. You can always take a 217 brush and kind of clean everything up, blending really, really lightly as you go. I'm going to end up using this in my crease, but just a little bit. Anytime that I use this color, I'm just using a tiny, tiny little bit. It just kind of helps it soften the eye a little bit because it is a very dramatic eye. You want some sort of middle ground for everything to fade into. So just add as you go, do tiny little touch-ups here and there, and you can really take your time with this fluffy brush just to blend everything together. So if you need a little extra something to help blend it together, go back to that lighter color. You can either use a fluffy brush or you can use your paddle brush, and you can go back over the eyelids. It kind of helps everything just blend together one more time. This eye look can be a little tricky. There's a lot of like really harsh colors and really harsh lines going on, so feel free to use that lighter color just to soften everything up. So now we're using Fascinating, and this is a really simple step. You're just going to put this in your waterline, switch it back and forth on either side. It usually takes me a couple layers to build this up, so take your time with it. So to increase the longevity of your liner, you can take a little bit of lighter powder and pat it on top of that liner. So just take a little bit of that lighter shadow and just pat it right on top, and it actually makes it last a lot longer. If it feels weird, that's normal. So now we're going to do mascara. This is just a random mascara I got. I don't know what it's called, I never do, but I really like it because it has a spoolie that's kind of rounded, so it makes it really easy to kind of hug the corners of your eye. You want to make sure you get your bottom lashes too. I'm just kind of wiggling the spoolie back and forth to build it up. It gives you more of like a doll lash look, so you really want to make sure that you don't skip this step. Bottom lashes are just as important as your top lashes. For the lashes, you guys can use whatever lashes you want. I'm sorry, I don't have the names of these. I never do. They just sit in my little lash case and I use them all the time. So next we'll do lips. I still have a little lip conditioner on, so then I'm going to put Prairie from Lime Crime on top of that. I really like using lip conditioners with the Velveteens because it helps your lips stay a little bit more fresh and moist. It prevents that sort of like dry buildup, and it just makes it feel a lot more comfortable to wear. It's totally optional, totally up to you if you want to use that or not. So for a little extra, I'm using Rave, and I'm basically just going to use this on the inner part of my lip to give it just a little bit more volume. If you put any lighter color of lipstick on the inner part of your lip, it makes them look a little bit more pouty, plus I wanted it to match my hair. With blush, you can use pretty much anything you want. I'm using this lighter color. What am I doing? Am I singing along with the song or something? Okay, and for highlighter, I'm using this guy from Makeup Forever. It has like a little bit of a blue tint. I'm using my blush brush and I'm just setting it down on the top of the apples up to the outer corner, and then you just blend it in from there. You guys can use whatever highlighter you want. And that's the look. That's how I did it. I hope this was easy enough that you guys could follow along. I know it's a little complicated and I'm kind of like breaking a lot of makeup rules to do this, so I hope you guys liked it. Thanks for watching this video, you guys. If you liked this video, hit that like button. If you haven't done so already, click that subscribe button down there. And if you're a returning subscriber, hit the bell down there. I didn't even know this, but if you hit the bell, it'll actually notify you every time that I upload. So that's there in case you want notifications. I'm here every day, all day on YouTube. See you next time. Bye!